So, let's just have a conversation about the audience that you're trying to build. Because here's the thing, if you're trying to build an audience off of completely free valuable information and free resources, which is what people try to do today, right? Give away everything for free, which is perfectly okay to give away a lot of free stuff for your audience. However, here's the point. If you do that, you kind of condition your audience and collect and attract an audience that don't want to buy things. And ultimately, you are presumably building an audience because you want to build a business around it, right? You want to build a predictable, sustainable income around it. And so I actually think that you should, from the very beginning, be selling something to your audience to kind of, condition them to that is what you do. That is one of your objectives, and it's perfectly fine. People love to buy stuff as long as what you put out there is valuable and helpful, and that is something that they need and want, and people will want to support you. However, if you build an audience completely based off of free resources and free information, and you go out there with this vibe of like, I'm not here to make money, I just want to give everyone thing away for free, and I want to serve people, which you of course want to do, but you kind of condition your audience to that. So when you then move into monetization, it's going to become an issue. And you will have an audience that doesn't convert, doesn't want to buy from you, because you simply didn't frame that relationship with your audience in that way. And so I think you should absolutely put that into your marketing messages that, yes, you are here to serve, provide free value and resources for those who want it, but you also have something to sell. For instance, if you're on a webinar, this is actually a thing that sometimes you make a webinar and you go on and say, I have nothing to sell you. Well, people actually get disappointed and say, well, what the fuck, man? Why don't you have some shit that we want to buy, man? Well, everybody knows that if you want to get the high level stuff, the really good stuff that takes a lot of time, effort, energy, and consideration to build out, that's built off of experience and depth of knowledge, you kind of have to pay, right? Because how are you going to produce that shit for people if you can't sustain a living? So, sell things for your audience and condition them to be in this frame of mind that this is also what you do. And also from the point of view that you can always say, well, you can do all of this for free if you want, but if you want to get there faster, more securely, yes, I'm here to help you. And of course, people is going to have to pay something for it. And so the point of all of this is that everyone has to eat, right? You have to make a living. And if you truly want to give and serve the most to the people you have out there as your audience, you're going to have to charge something for it in some way, shape or form. Because otherwise you're going to have like a job on the side, which is then going to mean that you will not have the time to put your best work into providing something of value to your audience. So please don't think that there's anything wrong with selling to your audience. On the contrary, it should be a key objective for you to do. Because like I said, everyone has to eat, right? And on top of that, very important other key concept. If you're out there to attract people that are like-minded, you want to help them, serve them, build something, right? That's ultimately going to be the people that listen to what it is you have to say and implement it, right? And in order for them to be able to implement it to the fullest, they need the highest quality information that you can put out there, help resources that takes time to develop. And lastly, also a very key important point is that those who pay attention, right? It's just that simple. They're invested into it, which kind of puts some pressure onto them to actually leverage and use what it is you put out for them, right? There are free resources out there on the internet, and this is a common phrase, better than most paid courses. Yes, they are, but for some people, it won't deliver. Even though the material is better than most paid courses, it won't deliver for a lot of people the best result in comparison to a paid course that's inferior to that. Simply because people don't follow through, they don't execute, they don't actually use the information because they got no skin in the game, right? Don't be afraid to charge people. Don't be afraid to put out there that you are in this also to have a sustainable, predictable income. This is perfectly reasonable and normal. You're putting in good work for these people. Of course, you should be able to have an income and make a living out of it, so you can dedicate the time and the energy that you really need to perform at the highest level, right? It also shows that you are serious, that you know what you're talking about. You know how this game is played. That if you want to provide the most valuable information for people, you gotta eat, right? If you're in this survival mode state where you're basically starving, right? You're not going to be able to, because you're not in a resourceful state then. If you have this pressure and stress from, where's the money going to come from? How am I going to sustain that? You have software costs, you have production costs, you have a lot of cost associated with basically running a personal brand online, or running any type of influencer business, or whatever it is that you're running. You have cost associated with it, right? And if you are under the pressure of this cost, right, you are in a survival mode. You are not in the resourceful state where you can provide the best, material to put out there for people to enjoy. And so just charge. Get that shit out of the way, right? Everybody's gotta eat. And when you are fed and you have enough to sustain yourself, right, then it frees up that resourceful state where you can focus fully on mastering your craft and serving people at the highest level. So I think this whole thing of give away everything for free, it's not necessarily how you wanna run it. I do believe you have to give a lot of free, valuable resources out there to show who it is that you are and what you do and why you do what it is you do and how you do it, to position yourself with expertise and competence. But I don't believe that everything has to be free. It's absolutely okay that you charge or have a possibility for people to pay to get access to what it is you can help people do at the highest level, right? I would love to pay someone, and I have paid people in the past, to get access to the best material, the best information, and personal response, right? I will pay for that shit every single day of the week. I view it as an investment in my education, so I love what I can invest in material and resources and information in the most condensed way, the most clarified way, professionally done, that I can immediately implement and use and leverage, right? I would rather pay for that in money than I would like to pay the time cost of good information, but that isn't optimized for my learning journey, where I have to sift through shit, sort through shit. It's not properly structured, it's not properly edited, it doesn't pull me along through that course and information and the material, and it lacks the resources I need to be able to implement because someone gave it away for free and it wasn't monetized, and so now I have to pay a time cost instead of a money cost. I don't like that, right? I'd rather pay, and I'll pay for access, and I know that's how most people who are somewhat successful would rather run things, right? So everybody's going to have to eat, and if you're building that audience and you haven't monetized yet, you should find a way to do so. Now, I'm Kasper LSK. I work as a coach and consultant in basically every single thing in business development. There's probably going to be some links and some resources you can check out in the description if you would like to work together or see what I have on offer right now. And second, if there's anything with this that you need more information about, like, put a comment down below. So hoping you're having a good day, and I hope that you get to eat.